Monday, 1st of September, first day of meteorological awesome apparently, and it bloody feels like it. Fresh, breezy, over at Newham to enter the pain cave and do some 300s. Plan today, 2 times 3 by 300, 90-second recoveries, 55 to 52 seconds. So yeah, they're going to sting at the end, but that's the plan. Right, got to crack on. Speak to you in a bit. First set done. Wow. It's interesting how you have good and bad, or good and less good days. Yesterday I was shattered. So I'd done the 200s on Thursday, big strength conditioning session. Friday, max speed, Saturday, day off yesterday, but I was trashed. I'd have actually taken the day off anyway. This morning, not feeling super fresh, but paces are okay. 54 something, 53 something, 52 something. So yeah, I'd like to get 6 done today. Just need to pace it better. Anyway, 2 or 3 more minutes of recovery, then we go again. But yeah, it's actually warm in the sun. I'm doing the bends, so 2 bends, 1 straight. I thought I was being smart to avoid the headwind on the home straight. But as you come in the top bend before the end, it just hits you in the head just when you're starting to die. So yeah, not so smart. Anyway, done. 2 times 3 by 300. That second set, well, you would have seen on screen, 51, 53, 53. Oh my god. So I'm pleased I got that done after last week. 1 extra effort, slightly faster. Again, legs not feeling it. But yeah, all done. The geese left me alone, although they'd clearly been crapping all over the back straight all night. So I just dodged that every time. We had a fox. The groundsman had just turned up. So I'm glad I'm all done and dusted. But yeah, I'm a bit battered. Oh. So yeah, race week, but not going into it particularly fresh. As a reminder, Saturday down at Grays in Thurrock, I'll be doing 100 and 200 and leg of the relay, which they've changed to it's that weird 400 2x2 1x4 setup, so I don't know what leg I'll get on that. But yeah, not planning to go into it super fresh, so I'll do Thursday session again, I think on Thursday at Braintree in the evening, just to sharpen the legs. Strength conditioning tomorrow, physio with shockwave therapy on this Achilles Wednesday. There we go. Anyway, I'm battered. Bye. Welcome to the Eastern Masters Track and Field League final at Thurrock. So yeah, busy day ahead. For me, 100, 200, first leg of the relay, but yeah, there's a full set of events. So we kick off about 10:30 and it runs till about 5. Strong clubs as well have made the final on the men's side. So we've got Cambridge and Coleridge, Bedford, Milton Keynes, Chelmsford, Peterborough, Southend, Thurrock and Colchester. So yeah, it's going to be great. A good opportunity to just have a final run out and see how things are going. Training's been good since I broke my wrist here 12 or so weeks ago. I would say it's been solid and continuous rather than outstanding. So yeah, I'm looking forward to just seeing what I've got in the legs. Morning. Debrief time after yesterday's Track and Field League final. So overall, Bedford won in the end. Milton Keynes came second. We were fifth. I think I said with a little intro that, you know, some strong teams, and Bedford and Milton Keynes are very strong. You would have seen from that last little clip, which we'll come back to, I finished second in the 100 metres. But yeah, let's take a step back first. So Milton Keynes and Bedford have got a couple of guys who are very good. They got Tennyson James at Bedford, V65, top 10 in the UK. And they got John Brown at Milton Keynes, who's a V70, and he's top 2. I think he's only comes in behind Steve Peters, I think, the guy who wrote the Chimp Paradox or whatever those books were. So yeah, I knew beforehand that if those two guys showed up, then really I would be racing for third place. I mean, they're both guys I look up to. They are super speedy, super consistent. Tennyson's a bit better at the 200 than the 1. John at the 1 is rapid. So yeah, that was the kind of the thoughts on who I could be racing. So I'd be racing for either third or fourth place. After the start yesterday, the wind picked up and we had a massive headwind, southeasterly all day long. So the chances of any sizable PBs went straight out the window for everyone. But it was the same for everyone. But we had electronic timing, which was good. And the day went. It was warm, things got delayed. But yeah, overall, great day. So first up was the 200. Now Thurrock Track has only got 7 lanes apart from the sprint lanes. So there were 8 teams and the 200s had to be run 2 races of 4. So Tennyson and John were in the first V60s race. I was in the second against Mark from Dartford/Chelmsford, the guy who's beaten me the last 2 times at 200. So Tennyson and John went off and I think they did high 28s in their heat. And then it was down to me and Mark. Now my plan for the 200 was around execution. I planned to go out hard for the first 50, cruise for the next 100 to 90 metres, and then give it everything I could to finish that race off. So execution was priority number 1, beating Mark was priority number 2. And that went really well. I executed as I planned. He was on the inside of me and I could hear that he was coming down the home straight at around 60-70 metres. I could hear he was on the rivet, if you don't mind me mixing my sporting metaphors. But when I got to the 50 metres to go, I put the pedal down and took that in 29.43. So I think that will end up shown as a season's best on the 200 on power 10. So yeah, pleased. So came in third overall on the 200. I haven't got any film clips of that, unfortunately. But apparently it looked a cracking race. Felt good. all this work I've been doing the 300 repeats as well. That was the place I fell over and broke my wrist. So there was a bit in the back of my head in terms of, you know, let's get out of here alive. But all of that longer effort work I've been doing is paying dividends. I knew I was stronger, and I knew I could ramp it up in the last 50 meters. So yeah, over the moon with how that went. Then had about an hour and a half until the 100, and I felt a twinge on my left groin, top of the quad on the inside when I was warming up, and it was sore. Not sore enough to stop me running, but sore when I was warming up, and it wasn't going away. So I knew I'd done some damage of some sort, and I'm assuming it's when I'm coming out the blocks, because I've not been doing any block work. I've been protecting those hip flexors and avoiding doing any block practice. And I think I must have pulled something when I came out the blocks on the 200. So yeah, into the 100 meters. And this was the first time I've had a chance to race against Tennyson and John. So I was looking forward to this. I was expecting the pair of them to disappear ahead of me, and even one of the other guys I've raced against all summer came up to me and went, "Do you know these two guys? Don't be too phased if they disappear off up the track." So that was funny, and that was my expectation. You'll see from the clip, however, that I beat Tennyson. John got about 13.6, I think. I came in at 14.35, which I think will show as a PB again on power 10, because there was that 13.8 I did down at Southend, which they said was wind assisted. So yeah, I think that's going to show as a PB on power 10 once it gets loaded. And Tennyson came third. So I was over the moon with that. I had no expectation. We both got out to a pretty strong start, but I continued to drive hard, and then I could just feel myself pulling away from him. So yeah, two great runs, but I screwed up that left. I think you would class it as a groin strain. So I don't think it's anything too serious, but it did keep me out of the relay later in the day. It was sore, just standing still. It's sore now when I'm walking along. So it did keep me out of the relay later in the day, but by that time it was all done and dusted. There was no change in the overall results. So I'm not too fussed about that. So it's a strong day for Colchester overall. The team are getting stronger. We were missing a couple of our stronger, our M50, fastest M50 sprinter wasn't there. There's another guy who's very strong at 400 at the M50 level. He couldn't make it either. So we certainly wouldn't have got first or second place, but we possibly could have got top three. The other area we're missing, and I doubt there's any V70s in East Anglia watching this, but the other area we're missing is a V70 or a couple of V70 runners, because they've added that category to the league recently. They don't do many events. I think discus, long jump, 3000. Can't remember what the other one was. Yes, 3 or 4 events they do at V70 level, and if you don't put anyone into that category, you don't get any points. So you're on a hiding to nothing. You can lose kind of 18 to 20 points immediately as a team just by not having anyone in that age group. But yeah, overall the team did great, and I think we keep building like this, we could then get a third next year. As I say, Bedford, Milton Keynes, very strong teams. Just nationally, they're very strong. So yeah, but a fantastic day out, very well organised, and I'm over the moon with how the runs went. The injury is annoying, and I'm going to need to see how that goes in the next couple of days. Try and get some physio treatment on it. I was planning on doing a 400 metres next, I think I've mentioned this, I can't remember if I mentioned it, next Sunday down at Gillingham. So it's the Kent Masters, but they've got an open category, so I'd entered that 400 there. And Mark, who runs for Chelmsford in the vets, he was running there as well, so yeah, there was an element of wanting to take him on over that distance, but at the moment I would say that's looking very much in doubt. So then it'll be Biggleswade next. So yeah, overall great. Bit of a messed up week training wise because of the league final, but hopefully we'll be able to get back on it in a couple of days' time. I'll do some strict. Anyway, I just wanted to fill you in on that, guys. I will catch up with you all next week. Bye for now.